Okay, well, it's another thing on this thing. Just real quick, if you're unfamiliar, this is a 73 Monte Carlo that we just got running last video. Bought it for $1,000 and it's probably going to be, hopefully at least, going to be the ride for PowerTour 2025, wherever that is. It needs a ton of work, but right now we're just focusing on mechanical stuff. And we're pretty sure the engine's good, pretty sure the transmission's good just by scooting around the yard. Goodness. It needs power steering. It's not a necessity, but it is a necessity. And two is brakes. It does have brakes, but it feels like the brake booster is going out, or is out. It just ain't got good brakes. Now this thing had a power steering pump laying beside it in the yard of where we got it when we first got it. So we picked it up, put it in the box, and right now I just have it mocked up right there. That is where it goes. Kind of swivels right there somehow. So we've already got a new pump on order because we're assuming the pump's bad. That will be here. That'll be at O'Reilly's around 2:30. And another big thing is that you won't ever be able to see it because it's dark in there, but the guy cut the power steering lines. One of those is a return line, so that's fine. That's not high pressure, but the other one, I'm gonna hope to piece them back together because they've been cut, and I'm just gonna hope that I can like see where the two ends meet up and like what's the orientation, and take them to CarQuest where they build new high pressure lines, because I need one of those, and you can't really just buy one. I'm gonna make all the brackets pretty and stuff on that pump when I take it off, because my theory is that whatever I touch on this car, if I just take an extra hour to like make it pretty, then at some point the whole car will be pretty. So here's that power steering pump now, and there's the return line, and here's where, you know, the line got walloped. That was impressive. It was on like two wheels right there somehow. That's coming off. I didn't want to put my hand on there and then slice it open with the pulley. Now this will just come right off. Nope. There it goes. Maybe. Let's put that back on, just, you know, there's no point to it because we're getting a new pump anyways, but. Well, I'm running out of stuff to hit. What?
That's Prestone.
Yeah, that's what I've discovered.
They make a tool for that. Don't bend that fully.
I ain't been. Press it. Alright, I scuffed all this stuff up, and I'm going to shoot a coat of, what is this stuff? Flat black. It's the same stuff that I painted my wheels with on my Bronco. You ain't going to see that anyways, but make me feel better. Yeah. Really? Tried to. Be surprised at that? Yep. Hang on. I'm hanging on. That's not getting any pump. Got to pull it off the fuel pump.
You ain't gonna straighten it up? You're crooked.
With the power,
You got 2-arm power steering.
the worst part is you can't even take this stupid thing off.
Yeah, you can.
You know, with how stinky this is, I'm surprised it's not more attached.
Well, your hands won't slip that way.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna start by blowing everything off, and by that, I'm gonna at least cover up the carburetor, hanging out right now wide open. I got the cheapest stuff possible. About $2 a can. And I'm just gonna spray everywhere that I see. Oh goodness. You'd probably rinse it off, and then, I don't know, I got a little brush over there I probably hit some stuff with. And then just repeat until I'm out. First of all, I'm gonna blow all this water out. Then I'm gonna fire it up and just let all what's wet dry out from the motor heat and stuff. That's what I usually do on my mini bikes when I wash them. I just fire it up and let all of the water just boil. Not boil, but like evaporate stuff out of it. So. Yep. There we go. That wasn't too bad. There we go. There's that half. One of these is a high pressure, one's just a return line. So the return line I'm gonna leave. And the high pressure you can tell because it's got like high pressure fittings on or whatever. So I gotta take that off. Oh yeah. So why did this guy just cut the lines instead of, you know, doing what I just did? I don't know. Would have saved me probably 30 bucks, but that's fine. Actually, it wouldn't have saved me 30 bucks. This is my dad's car, so he's paying for it. There it is. Maybe, because this one's at an angle. This one kind of at an angle. I wouldn't really... I'm gonna say that's how it's supposed to go. That looks pretty good. So the car quest here in town builds these. So that's probably who's gonna do it. You know. A little bit worried about these little bends. You know, how are they gonna do that unless they take it apart? I don't know. I'll just figure all that out later. And for you, it's gonna be like 2 seconds probably. So there you go. Okay, so power steering line is at CarQuest. I just called. I dropped it off yesterday, and the guy hadn't even done it. So that's gonna be like another hour, he said. And mini bike's leaning against the car. That's good. So while we're waiting on that, this car is having some weird little throttle issues. Like sometimes it just like idles higher than it should. And then I set the idle last time I got it running. And then now it's like I'd never even touched it. It's just back to idling too low. Plus the accelerator pump is kind of questionable. So instead of rebuilding it, my dad went through a phase of like buying quadrojets. So we got two right here to choose from. This one is off of his red C10 that we took on PowerTour and stuff. This was off a 305. Now this was on the 350 that's on it now, but we couldn't ever get it to run right. So this will probably be good for like a stock motor because that motor wasn't stock when we put it on. I'm thinking we tried to hot rod it, but it didn't really work out. And then this one, we bought it a guy at a swap meet who said it was rebuilt by, I don't even know who now, but like some dude that's pretty good at these. So this one may be the one to go on there. That one may go on there. This was a electronic one at some point, but it's been I'm assuming unelectronic sized. So I'm thinking we start to swap carburetors this morning. Okay, so I just fought with this for a while. You know, this doesn't want to come off, didn't mention that. That doesn't want to spin properly. And then I finally, you know, discovered that that does that. So, you know, that makes it easier. Yeah, gasket was broke, but I'm gonna go and assume that I did that taking it off. Not that that was a huge vacuum leak. Here's what we took off. So earlier, I'm assuming this video, it's been a while, mentioned that that was broke. That's what that was. If we was reusing this whole piece will probably come out. You could probably replace that, but we're just gonna go ahead and swap on it. And just to keep this gasket from, oh, by the way, I found a gasket here. To keep it from sticking, we'll put some white lithium grease on it, just a little bit, not much. Just enough to keep it from sticking to something. It's prettier than the other one.
You gotta take the power brake adapter.
Oh, I was
supposed
to put that on there first because I couldn't get that to break loose.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's good.
That mating surface looked pretty good, didn't it?
Yeah, I thought it did. All right, I got everything hooked up that was on the other carburetor and stuff like this that was just lying around. Yeah, that's fine. And with the CarQuest earlier, of course, it's underneath this big box. And we picked up this, which all they did was just take off the old bends and stuff, put on new line with new fittings and stuff. And what's good is that you can get in there, clock it to where you need it, and then tighten it down. So that worked out pretty good. It was also $50, which hurts seeing is the guy we talked to yesterday couldn't find a replacement. Then we got there today and he was like, oh, by the way, found a replacement. I think next is fire this thing up, see if it does any better, I guess. And then we can start digging into power steering again. All right. Pretty smooth. Oh,
We need a throttle.
I never put the return spring back on it. So that would probably help on that, wouldn't it? Yeah. It's right here. I never put that back on there. We're gonna see if I can remember how to put this back together. Forgot the most important thing. What the people expect you to reuse because they don't give you a new one. Well, this is the second time I've recorded this. First time I complained about the belt not fitting, and we just had it on there wrong, so fantastic. This looks a little different from last time you saw it. Last time it was literally just the pump on here, but now there's lines and everything plumbed up, except for the return line, because we need to flush all this out tomorrow. And I could complain a bunch about that hose, but I'm not going to. Long story short, the way that it was made is, so the factory one, the lines have to be clocked a certain way on the hose because that hose can't bend a lot. On this one, which we had the guy make, it sounds all good that this all comes apart, so it's basically 3 pieces and you have to tighten it all together. So what you have to do is you have to put it in there, fitting on first, then the line, then the other hard line going into that, and then tighten it all up. And it is a bear to tighten that all up if you have hands over the size of a toddler. But we got that in there, so that's no big deal. And we got a belt on, which I mentioned we did wrong because the first time we ran it from the water pump to this pulley, which is wrong because you can't tighten it up at all doing that. It goes around the crank, then to this. So that's pretty good. Also, earlier, I never mentioned this. We couldn't get it to start for the life of us. We could get it to run off of a bottle, and that was it. So if you have a Monte Carlo and that is doing the same thing, check to see if there's fuel in the gas tank. Usually, a car has to have fuel in there to fire up. So just check that. Yep. Think it's already low? It could be. It's got really good power steering when it's working. One finger. You gonna get that? It's nervous. It is kind of twitching. Yeah. Do you think that's just how it is? Feel good?
Yeah, it does.
It feels pretty good.
Oh, that heavy glove now. But this is really not that bad.
Yeah, just wrap the outside of it with that.
We'll clean it best we can, and then we'll wrap it.